Welcome back, everyone, to the Spearhead cast with me, Matt. Let me just move my microphone around here a bit. Okay. To the Spearhead cast with me, Matt. We are on a Hot Summer's End remake with the first match I am recording of the Spearhead 2 1.01 patch. So let's go through the players here. It's the Western Front battle. On the Allied side, we have Storm 60 as the United States of America, Testia Lime as the Commonwealth, and Uncle Death as the United States of America. Oh boy. On the Axis side, we have Albel the Ghost as Infanteriedivision for the Wehrmacht, Will Black as Ostdivision for the Wehrmacht, and Smokey as Sturmtactics for the Waffen-SS. Let's go through this then, shall we? Looks like we already have the British engagement in the center against the Wehrmacht along this, well, this road, probably a part of the, I forgot what it was called. You know, the big speedway going through Germany? I just forgot the name. It's right on my mind. The Autobahn. Yeah, that's what it's called. The Autobahn. Let's see. And we also looks like Uncle Death has gone for Armor Company. Okay, always a good, interesting call. And Testia Lime as Royal Tank. Ooh. Nothing for Storm 60 yet, though, but we'll keep an eye on it. So the British and the Wehrmacht is going to be fighting a lot here in the center. Well, looks like some Americans and the SS are going to be fighting around here in the open. We already have the first Valonian squads coming on here. The Valonians are like a really popular unit to use these days, but I have a personal hope that it will somewhat get nerfed in the future. Who is to say? Now the patch had a few changes, but I'm not an expert on all of them. But apparently it affected Shermans, especially the EC8, which it needed. Its cost is a little bit higher now and everything. We'll need to see what happens with the changes though, to see if Allies or Germans do better. I know the SS have and Germans have a new building now, which is, I think, is themed from the Combat Heroes 1 building, the Kampfkraft Center, which allows the Germans to essentially research to spawn with higher veterans units late game. So that is a very interesting way of going about it, and a callback to like the original game. It also means that the Germans can just get better infantry later on, which is a handy ability to have. Because the Americans supporting the British have done a good job here against the Osttruppen. All these poor Eastern Europeans forced to fight for the Germans are not doing too well here. Forced to die for the Nazis. Against their own wills. Only 2 Valonians though, so not spamming of them. That's good to see. Generally people like to spam them. And more still getting mowed down. That's a lot of dead Eastern Europeans. That is a very good American commander, rifleman squad. He's also gone for a command, and I'm pretty sure, yeah, I saw it was mechanized. Always a good call. We have Mthis coming in for the British. The basic heavy machine gun of the British Army, also used in the First World War. Water-cooled. We have a British medic station going up here behind this building. A good fighting position on their way into the Reich. We need to keep an eye on what happens. Looks like the SS are making fortified positions. Also an MG, looks like an MG-34. Americans out in the open, it's not going to fare too well here. There's a lot of firepower coming their way. 2 sides, no less. They'll start to drop troops soon. Opening up back behind cover, good to see. Yeah, this British aid station is going to be a very big deal, I think. MT-34 set up to cover the central road area. Storm Grenadiers tried to push up, but it was too much fire. We have a firefight down here. Looks like the Ost Division tried to push through. But there's too much semi-automatic firepower coming their way from the riflemen. Now there's an MG-34 coming down here too. But yeah, Infantry Division has also been changed. They no longer get veterancy just for free. Instead it's combined in with the new Kampfkraft Center thing. Where instead of having to buy the upgrades, you just get them for free each time they tier up. Which is way more different and I think somewhat more balanced, so I can dig it. Which the MG-34 is already causing troubles here on the main road. I just need to make sure I am recording. I just want to make sure I am. Good. Always so nerve-wracking if I'm not recording. NG-34 sitting up. Immediately starting to shred the American infantry. Not a good covering position here from the MG fire, and indeed they're cut down. But the Allies do control a large swathe of the map. Something they can definitely take an advantage of later on. Looks like the Valonians have been set up into the fortified position with their Sturmgewehrs. Valonians trying to go for the center here. Americans are suppressed, so they will definitely do better.
Nearby dwellings for field headquarters. We can now establish a forward HQ.
Just like a British lieutenant is down here fighting alongside the Americans, having a round with the brain carrier. A 7th Armored Division lieutenant, by the looks of it. I really like the British officer model. That's a really cool model there with the camouflage and the beret. I just wish the British had more unit models, but they really don't, unfortunately. Well, that's a thing we'll see in Company of Heroes 3, if they allow more unit modeling, or just the fact that it'll be a much higher degree of alternative models for the infantry. Some which models can take use of. I at least hope so. I really hope that the Company of Heroes 3 will have the same modding support, if not more modding support. Oh, it looks like we have a Valonian strike squad coming down here with MP-34s, supported by German infantry troops. There's not here to suppress them, only a lieutenant and a brain carrier.
Ready for orders.
The brain carrier only has its Bren gun, so that's not a lot of firepower for all this that's coming our way. I think the British will have to get out of there. Now the Ostrom are flanking. Using a Panzerfaust. And the officer goes down. Just as an American lieutenant arrives, but it's going to be too late. And the MP-34s are cutting through them. And then the Osttruppen are going to help as well. But the infantry is being hit by the officer barrage. Oh, machine gun down as well from a rifle grenade. Looks like the 7th Armored Division is trying to hold the ground though. It looks like all the non-Germans fighting for the Germans is doing a very good job. Eastern Europeans and some Belgian far-right extremists. But this brain carrier out and this flank I think will do a good job. And now the Ostrom on their own. But they have chance to get behind cover and get some German infantry support here. So the Valonians are trying to get through the center here, throwing an impact grenade. I actually don't think it's an impact grenade. Although I cannot check the ability here, I need to wait until one of them is not retreating. And the Ostrom alongside the German infantry and the German machine gun is going to be able to hold. Not sure we're seeing the new building yet. The Kampfkraft Center. I've not seen it in use.
Where the hell is that bar? Get it up here and let's move.
Let me just check.
Stand ready, Kamerad.
Oh, it is an impact grenade. Okay. Just making sure, because I'm not an expert on all the weapons. I knew they would explode an impact, but I'm not sure if it was because it was timed by the enemy or by the units, or if it was actually an impact grenade. But now this is a big German force down here. Osttruppen, machine gun, 222 and everything. This is gonna be a hard one to crack. Meanwhile, the SS is still holding up the north here. And Storm Grenadiers being armed with the MG-30, the precursor of the MG-34. A very fascinating little weapon that not a lot of people actually don't know about. But it laid the groundwork for essentially the MG-34 and the MG-42 we all know. So that's thanks to this one, the MG-30. A British command center has been set up in the building here. No surprise. You're probably able to call in the Australian and New Zealanders with it. Well, he need to be careful to decide where to do it. Oh, we have a veteran Valentine coming in. Okay. Pack 40 has been set up by the northern front here. Valonians are trying to push forward with the MP34s, rather. They also throwing Gebalderladungs. They replaced the impact grenades for heavier grenades. Not a bad choice, all things considered. Oh, he's even using breakthrough, so he can capture the grounds faster. Which is something Storm Tactics gets access to. Using Storm Tactics for actually assaulting is kind of what you're meant to. Although most people just use it for the artillery late game, which I think is not the whole point of the commander. It's meant to be good at infantry assaults. But that's gonna be a dead Belgian, I think. Unless he's gonna get lucky. Wow, he's actually gonna get out of there. As the Valentine is supporting the southern flank. But there is a pack. But Willie Pete going in. Now Willie Pete was also changed. Although it's still powerful by the looks of it. It's not as deadly anymore. Although if it hits a pack, it's definitely still gonna kill the crew. Like no surprise there. And that Valentine is immobilized, so it's probably gonna get killed. Good job with the smoke canisters though. I don't think the allies can save it, but they're definitely gonna try. Yeah, coming in gears are trying to flank here. Over there with their grease guns and carbines. Too bad the MG is setting up, and there's a lot more to stop them. They did manage to throw a Willie Pete grenade there though. But the Valentine is down. A valiant attempt though. But looks like the Germans have set up quite nicely here around the train station. Have you seen the Kampfkraft Center? No, I'm not seeing the Kampfkraft Center in use. Now the lieutenant for the British calling in artillery. More Eastern Europeans fighting for the Germans on the front line here.
Pioneers ready for assignment.
Oh, that was a really Pete barrage. Oh.
The mortar team has been killed.
Although I think that's 70. Oh, we have an A2 Sherman coming in. The basic workhorse of the United States and even the British at some point. Very good tank. Definitely underappreciated.
Engineers taking the field.
But needs to use the TIE explosive, but it cannot just use TIE explosive only anymore, which was a good change in my opinion. But that pack is definitely going to be a problem. Need to pull the Sherman back. Walk how many years on the fields? The double packs have been armed. There's a big front of the Wehrmacht down here. Even an F1 coming in. Scott is being prepared by the United States though. A Scott is a very good little weapon. Also American mortars are present. Panzer IV being prepared by the Ost division. Oh, the 222 got hit by a mortar shell, killing it. Very unfortunate. Scott is on the field, which is like a howitzer mounted on a Stuart chassis, I believe. Looks like the Sherman's prepared to move again, having been armed with a 50 cal. Not a lot of oh, good Gebalderladung in the center here. I completely almost missed that. Understormfuhrer is trying to push up for the Waffen-SS in the center. So the British might need some more infantry to shore up the front line here. They could potentially call in some ANZAC and New Zealanders to try and hold the front line. He's calling in some precision barrage right there. Damn infantry trying to support.
Machine gun crew awaiting orders.
And they're looking good here for the British. They're taking heavy losses.
Ready to set up a new forward base.
Hit too many times.
Bren, can you down? Scott is moving forward. That's probably not a wise idea. Oh, it did. It failed to penetrate, so I think this might actually work out if they can take out the other pack. But might not be able to, it's stunned. And those troops are ready to grab the gun if needed. Command student American force preparing, probably to move through the center to support their British allies. Jägers have arrived for the Wehrmacht infantry. A good elite squad. Namely worth grabbing. Very good for recon unit. Panzer 4-8 reveals itself. Then the Germans know they have to deal with that now. Goliath arriving for the British. Not the British, for the SS, oh my god. Now that is a devilish little weapon right there, and I think it's gonna be used aggressively to try and take out this British forward encampment. Because the British are lacking in stuff to stop it. They desperately try to use a grenade, but that's not gonna stop it. And indeed, there goes the British forward HQ. A good use of the mobile mine. Goliath is a dangerous little piece of a weapon. Looks like we have a command tank coming in for the Sturm. Their command F1 coming in. Panzer 4H coming out for the infantry division. And that's another one for Ost anyway. My bad. The Scot is definitely trying to bombard the German lines though. He needs to try and hit wherever the packs are. Sherman's being very brave. Might need to pull back. Looks like we have a second Sherman coming. This one is an A3, so armed on the HVSS chassis, which means it should have full accuracy on the move and be heavily armored. It's essentially an EC8 without the EC8 turret and gun. But in all other terms, it's basically an EC8. Oh, White Foster's coming in on the Waffen-SS. That's gonna slow them down. Grenade coming out. That's a pineapple. That's a Bill's bomb, actually.
Damned enemies trying to take a point from us.
What would you consider more dangerous? A pineapple or a Mills bomb? That's the question.
Their support standing by.
Bazooka is also present for the Allies. They're really good at keeping the Germans at bay here. Oh, but the bazooka missed. Command shipment coming out. Jägers are trying to push up here, but I don't think it's working. They've been suppressed. We have the Prince's own Hussars in the fields. The 11 Hussars.
The squad's gone.
Oh, the Brits are losing a lot of their troops, though. Good bomb there, though, whatever that was. Was that from them? Did they use a rifle grenade? Command steward down for the Americans. Duke's being prepared for the Germans. Looks like some heavy artillery going in here. They mobilized the command Sherman. Oh, that's not good. Brits have lost a lot of their weaponry.
Armor ready.
Yeah, Brits have barely any troops left. Germans are really fortifying the southern flank, though. Looks like they're doing attack ground to try and scope out where the Scot is. And indeed, he is just ground firing, which can be kind of cheesy. I'll kind of agree to that. Oh, but a big flank is coming here with the combat engineers and the A3. And the A3 is a dangerous little piece of equipment. At least if the armor holds, that's always the big question.
Armor here.
They need to take out those packs. If they can take out those packs, then they can potentially work to take out the German tanks. So the Sturm troops from the Waffen-SS are slowly pushing up again. Still a bunch of Wallonians. Untersturmführer is now in arm with Sturmgewehrs. Putting the Sturm in Sturmgewehr. But the Untersturmführer. Whoa, Willie Pete shot! Oh, that's a good one right there. But a flank here from the Jaegers, although not enough to stop the tank.
A fresh mortar crew has arrived.
Prince Albert's own is trying to get into position here, being armed with Tommy guns. Meanwhile, the A3 went down to the sheer amount of German anti-tank firepower here. Looks like a Churchill's being prepared. Germans are playing the situation quite smart. Methodically slowly trying to push up. And don't think those Prince Albert's gonna do well against all these Sturmgewehrs. But the Sturmgewehrs are reloading! But now that it's reloaded, now they're cutting through them. Ooh, and the command Panzer IV is doing a really good job here, destroying the Allied infantry. Ooh, the British are in trouble. Or the Allies in general are in trouble. Ooh, this team needs to be careful. They're getting too close. Oh, good bazooka shot! The machine gun still kills them.
Just got a report of an infantry unit.
Well, we have a command Churchill on the field. Now that's a very powerful force, but there is a Stuk in the center here, and all the vehicles ready to flank if needed. But a Churchill is not that easy to crack. Still inside the Kampfkraft Center. I guess there's really no need for it if you can just get the veterans in the battlefield, but who knows?
Heavy armor ready to go.
Churchill does need some infantry support, I'd say. Looks like we have a Panzer IV coming out for the Waffen-SS. Another A3 Sherman has been prepared. Looks like the command Churchill is ready for some infantry support. Waffen-SS is trying to push for the northern flank here. Und der Sturmführer has ordered a Deutschland über alles, which the Belgians seem to be following, being fanatics and everything.
Where do you want us?
Churchill's fighting the Stuk. The Churchill should win that.
We need eyes on top.
Looks like artillery has been set up by the Ost Division. Ah, the Churchill's not getting a penetrating hit. So that truck is bugged. Not being destroyed.
Nuts.
Relay orders.
Churchill does need to be careful. There is a Stuka here ready to flank if needed.
Let's get her going.
You also have a major here. Oh, artillery is threatening the Allies. Also, a booby trap was set up here, evidently. Churchill needs to be careful where it moves. Is that a Regal mine? Yeah, that's a Regal mine. That's always a good choice. The Regal mine might not destroy an Allied tank, but it will always immobilize it. Remember that. The Regal mine will always immobilize, making it an exceptionally good weapon at holding an Allied vehicle push. The Regal mine is also fairly cheap, I believe. Oh yeah, the Germans are just pushing through the north now with the Waffen-SS troops. That command Panzer IV with the high explosive shells is definitely doing a big job. But Churchill's moving northwards. Yeah, I don't think the Germans can face a Churchill. The Churchill's just too armored. The Allies have been pushed into a little corner now. The Germans are slowly getting the upper hand. But that Churchill will remain a problem until they can get rid of it. Oh, good shot there from the command Panzer. Actually stunning them. Oh, looks like the African American troops will be called in. Oh, immobilized by the explosive shot.
New engineer section is waiting for orders.
Comet is arriving soon, though.
Tank ready to go.
Oh, I'm right on it, but it's still alive. It is a Churchill after all.
Officer in action.
Was it the Germans going to go in for the kill?
Fire from enemy bastards! Vehicle shelter back.
A universal carrier has been knocked out.
I'm joining it. What's the job?
They need to repair that Churchill quickly.
Button her up. Big push coming.
I don't think the Allies might have the time because the Germans are pushing very aggressively.
Ready for orders.
But there is a comet on the field. This one will pierce practically all German vehicles. Although it might get in range of the Stooks.
Hey, Spearhead. Get him in here.
Yeah, the Stooks are being very aggressive. They want to kill the Churchill.
Got him. Nice shot. Fire from enemy tank.
But they did lose. They did take out the comet though.
The Comet tank has been put out of action.
Prepare yourself! Foxtrot! German! Abandon attack!
There goes the Stooks.
Idiot pants are lost.
And the Churchill is almost operational again. And with that, the Churchill's ready to go.
Heavy tank awaiting orders.
Ready. Go ahead.
The Germans are tightening the noose on the Allied forces.
Ready for action. Send orders.
More Stooks being called in.
We need orders.
If the Churchill's gonna make a move northwards though.
Properly nasty in it!
They still have that pack to take care of though. The German tanks are ready to sweep in.
Attack nearby enemy
They could
vehicle.
sweep in. 8-2-1 on that engagement against the Stook. Command, Churchill's doing an amazing job here as expected. With a commander and a Vickers K at the same time. This thing is versatile. But the Allied position is overall in jeopardy.
Tank ready.
Oh, is that looking good? Big German, German SS force coming northwards. The Churchill might be overmanned here if it isn't careful. You should never overextend your heavy tanks despite how armored they might be. Like, the Churchill is an amazing heavy tank, don't get me wrong, but it can still get overmanned.
They're working around the
Oh god, they got a penetrating shot on it. Looks like I got out of there. The Germans really want to get rid of that tank. And I can't really blame them. A good Churchill is always hard to deal with. Artillery coming in at Scott, that Scott needs to be careful. There we go. The Germans are flanking with a huge armored force. There are tank hunters on the side, but they're being targeted. But they're killing them all one by one. More artillery coming in though.
Squad knocked out. HQ is under attack. Typical enemy trick, isn't it?
Oh, it's up to the Churchill again. Oh, the Churchill's just killing everything. Well, thanks to these tank hunters too. They're doing an amazing job supporting on the flank.
What's the job?
Another comet has arrived.
There's a shiny
Command
new
EC8
tank
arriving.
ready to go.
Our Germans have gained a lot of ground. And the howitzers are starting to bomb now. Aiming for the Allied base. Or near the Allied base anyway.
Tank commander awaiting next orders.
Ooh. It's a hard one for the Allies.
Looks like we're getting into the excitement.
Button down the hatches!
So the Germans have been trying to lay mines, I think.
All standing by.
Not sure. Allies are sweeping northwards.
Our headquarters are under fire.
And while the artillery is starting to hit the Allied base. Command Churchill is moving out again now. The Germans really need to get rid of that Churchill somehow. But how? Ah! You have the second SS on the field. That's right. We don't actually often see people use the Panzer Grenadiers. People tend to just really go for the Wallonians, which I think is a shame. Because the Panzer Grenadiers are also really good and can be armed pretty well. Yeah, now that Panzer IV might be in over its head. Because there's a Comet and an A2 here.
Heavy armor has been lost.
Because the Comet will just pierce through most... Oh, that's a Jagdpanzer though. The Jagdpanzer is pretty hard not to crack itself. I think this A3 might be in trouble. Oh, it's holding for now. The one shot is not enough. Looks like the Churchill's moving southwards. Yeah, and that's the A3.
A medium tank was just lost.
Hammer got hit by a Panzerfaust. Allies have secured some ground though, thanks to this. But they might lose this one. So now the Panzer Grenadiers can move up to throw a satchel. The Panzer Grenadiers actually don't have Panzerfausts. Fascinating. The Churchill's now in the field again. So they're gonna do a Panzerfaust on it. Oh, it's random artillery shell and the Vickers K did it.
Tank and crew ready to go.
Sherman ready to go.
That church is just doing so much of the work for the Allies. Good to see. The Americans could probably get some more units out though, some anti-tank guns or some infantry. They have the manpower.
Ready to go. What? Heavy tank awaiting orders.
Enemy threatening a capture point.
Another A3 arriving for the Americans. Looks like the Germans are gonna go for an armored assault.
We lost an infantry unit. They got wiped
They
out.
want to take out that A3. But there's not much the Allies can do to stop it. The Panzerjäger is just too friendly, heavily armored friendly.
Enemies are swarming one of our emplacements.
This A3 is also being destroyed. The Churchill needs to do something, but what? What can it do?
Tank ready.
That is too much German armor. The Germans are going in for the kill. The command church can now open fire if it can get line of sight. The church... Oh, the Comet is making a move. Jagdpanzer has to be careful. It's one of the few things they have that can pierce the Churchill, I think, but it's risky getting this close. And the Comet is there to protect the Churchill.
The enemy are trying to overrun our HQ.
Yeah, the British are making their move now, they have to. The Comet will keep getting good flanking shots.
Ready for orders.
Infantry ready to spot and attack nearby enemy vehicles.
Oh, the Comet is in trouble though. But this shows the power of the Churchill. It's tanking so many of the shots. If the British could get a second Churchill, now that would be something, but they really don't have the resources to do it. And while the Mthis says they're preparing to move out with infantry again on the north flank, what little they have, they've also prepared a howitzer of their own. Looks like we have a lot of German artillery today. But the Allies are still keeping the Germans at bay.
One of our fighting positions is sustaining fire.
Oh, we have Romanians. No, these are Hungarians, my bad. We have Hungarian troops. No, that's something we often see being called in, because if people don't know, Ostdivision has the ability with the command bunker to call in other German allies, like Romanians and Hungarians. Very fascinating stuff.
Heavy tank reporting.
Churchill and the Commoners making its move again.
Tank commander awaiting next orders. My tank.
The Germans really want to kill it. Common has to be careful. That thing is a glass cannon. The Churchill's doing an amazing job though, holy shit! There's gonna be a Panzer Force coming, it's flank! Good job coming smoked up. Churchill took down the Jagdpanzer.
Under attack.
Looks like sector artillery is going in though. And the Allies surrender. After a very long and hard fight, well not really long, but a hard fought fight I'd say. This Churchill is a fucking hero. Give them a freaking Royal Victorian Cross or whatever it's called. This crew fucking deserves it with the work they put in. Oh my god. I hope you all enjoyed and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.